Welcome to episode 451 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming podcast from thegeeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart.
Known across the internet as Casual Terror.
All right, this is our tech and gaming episode this week. Stuart, what have you been doing? What have you been up to? Playing, whatever.
And I just now thought of something, so I don't have a little thing for it. But I got the inkling to want to play a game for my PC on my couch. On my TV. It's like, well, I can either have a really long HDMI cable, or I can find what kind of streaming options are available. I've tried this before. I tried the Steam Link app. It didn't quite work very well. So I tried a couple other things. I tried something called Rainmaker. It has an app on Fire TV. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it. See what it was like. And it kind of came up as like Rainmaker is more of like a launcher that can also stream out. Like it'll just take all of your games that are supposedly installed on your computer, put them onto a launcher, and then you can stream out whatever you want to your TV. Great. As long as your games are installed on the C drive.
Oh.
Guess where my games are not installed? Says, okay. Let's try again. I found another one called Moonbeam. I don't remember. And like I said, I just now remember that I did this, so I didn't look it up. It's Moon something. But this one worked the best. Not perfect, but it did its thing. This one actually takes the NVIDIA Shield and just like, okay, we're gonna take what you would use on NVIDIA Shield, the like go into like your NVIDIA GeForce settings or whatever, and you turn on Game Stream. It'll detect that and then stream out what games are compatible. So cool. One of them being Steam Big Box. So like any games you can do on that, you can just run. So any Steam game, other games shut up. So I'm like, okay, cool. And there was a slight lag because I tried Fortnite just goes, because I wanted to see, there was you don't want to play a first person shooter or something twitchy this way, but something like an RPG, it's fine for the most part. Every now and then there was a noticeable, like the audio would just kind of drop out and then come back. So, but, and that was last weekend. I think I did this. And I noticed this happened twice. I'd come home from work, sit down on my computer, and Steam is open. Like the big box, whatever Steam calls the big view.
Big picture mode.
Big picture mode, yeah. there's another program I use that calls it big box, so that's why I was confused. But big picture was
Gets the point across.
it was open. Like what? Okay, close. 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 Force close. You're currently streaming something. No, I am currently not. So that was a bit of an issue. But that's something that could work, but yeah, it made me think like maybe I should invest in a NVIDIA Shield. Just straight up just do how it's supposed to be done. Maybe that might get rid of some of the lag. I don't know. But so far, not a great solution. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there is a good solution for it.
I mean, have you tried the NVIDIA streaming whatever on your tablet? Like the
I have
actual...
not. But like I said, I wanted to slide down on my couch and have it on my TV. I don't want to have a little thing sitting on my chest.
I mean, can you not, like, is there no way to plug your TV into, or your tablet into your TV? Like,
I don't think so. I think that would cause like more lag, because not only am I streaming from my PC to my tablet, but then it's going through another cable to my TV. That just seems like that's a longer path for it to travel. But I did not try streaming to my tablet because that never even crossed my mind. But what I did play, I kind of talked to you about this last week or last time. That game, Myth Force. The game that's in an 80s style, kind of a roguelike, kind of like a almost Left 4 Dead, but more like a what's the Warhammer version of that?
the Vermintide.
Vermintide.
Yeah.
It's more like that. It's more like Vermintide, and then Left 4 Dead. But I did play it. I didn't realize this was in early access. I thought this was out, but it's an early access, and it seems like it's early in its early access. And this definitely seems like you want other people with you, because it's kind of hard if there's nobody there to pick you back up. But I can definitely see this being fun with a bunch of other people. But like right now in its current state and playing solo, I'd wait. I didn't get far in it in my runs. I did. I played one run of each class. You got a warrior class, an archer, a mage, and a rogue. Playing solo, the warrior is best because they start with a shield. Any class can use any weapon that drops, which is good. Because sometimes like I need something range, but I'm playing a warrior, which comes with a shield and a mace. I need something better. But luckily, if somebody drops a bow, you can use a bow. You just might get you might have actually stats that make using those class specific weapons better. And you do like level up after each run. But going like the first level, that's not that bad. That second level, that's a bit of a jump to get like, okay, yeah, you only need like 4 experience to get to level 2. All right, cool. How many do you need to get to level 3? 32. That's a
Hmm.
jump because you don't get experience for like getting kills. You get experience for like you get 1 for collecting gold at all.
Okay.
2 for like you get also experience for like if you get so far in the dungeon, you'll get experience, and I'm sure if you get farther, you'll get another experience point for it. But like they don't give you a lot of experience, um, just in just for killing enemies, and some of those enemies are kind of tough, especially when you're playing by yourself. But I like the art style. It definitely kind of keeps with that 80s kind of feel that it's going for, which is I'm all for it. But right now, I say it's a wait. It's a wait and see what they do with it.
Yeah, I haven't had good experiences with like early access games we've talked about before, and I just feel like by the time the game's actually done and officially out, I've just like either gotten bored with it, waiting for them to bring out new content, or just don't I just don't like the game. I find out I don't like it, or so I'm pretty much for the most part. I mean, some games they say like early access, but they plan on coming out sooner. But then there are some games like what's the one? Mm, oh god, I'm drawing a blank. The D&D one. That's
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3, yeah. It's, where it's like, when did that release early access? And it's not officially coming out till next year? Like,
Well, there's also the pandemic, and in that case, because Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate 3 has been very kind of vocal about
oh yeah.
where they are, what how the pandemic has affected them.
I get that, but it's just just an example. Like, and also like you look at We Happy Few. That game took forever to,
That game took forever. Yeah.
and that's one that I was really excited about. And they released, and it's like, oh, here's a little tiny bit of content, and it's like, oh, I finished that in like an hour. Um,
Now you can just run
okay,
run around this little area doing nothing. Yep.
yeah, and they would just like slowly add little things here and there, and I'm just like, oh, that's the worst way to do anything game release wise.
Well,
Like,
it worked for Minecraft.
I mean, yeah, but that's what Minecraft was about. Like,
True.
you know, that's a make your own fun game. You're not in it
And
for like a
everybody in early
narrative.
access wants to be Minecraft.
Yeah. And Minecraft also like it was like $5 when it first launched, right? Like,
I don't remember how much it was. Well, I don't think it was very expensive. Might have been 15 because I think that's what I paid for it way back when in the early beta days.
really, I thought it was 5 when it first. Let me.
It first alpha maybe.
But yeah, even that, yeah, yeah, $5 originally, but like even 15, like the fact that it wasn't like a full-fledged game, or it wasn't the price of what it is now, for example,
Yeah.
it's like what you're getting into, and they're not,
I agree.
Versus now, it's just like, oh, who cares? It's you got to pay full price, even though the final version may not come out for 2 years.
But it's a game I know. I know. I was Baldur's Gate 3. I knew I was going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and that's that. That's like I said, unless it's a, that's a good example of the other way. But like a lot of these games, I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait, just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I just want. I think I'm gonna like this game, and I want to make sure I have the best experience with it. I don't want to pick it up early and have that taint my experience. So.
Another game that I played is actually one that you played and you talked about a couple months ago. Actually, no, I take that back, a couple years ago, which was early access at the time. It is now out with expansions. Celesta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have played a bit of Celesta because it's on Game Pass. And it is out. And because like when you played it, I don't the sorcerer wasn't in yet.
No, but that was, I think, the first thing they added.
Yeah. The sorcerer is out now, of course, along with
Yeah.
The barbarian, which is behind a damn paywall.
Yeah, I remember when they
so is the
released the
druid.
sorcerer, I made Shanza right away.
Celesta is interesting. It is very it follows the D&D rules very closely.
Yeah, which can be good and bad depending on how
True.
you view that.
But at the same time, it's also you can customize those rules a bit. Like, let's make let's give a kind of a plus to some of the roles here from characters. Make the game a slightly easier, or make it harder. You can also swing it the other way, which I think that's kind of cool. But it does this weird. The storytelling is done in such an interesting way because it takes your character's personality traits, and depending on what you've picked, because like you can like mix and match them, or that determines the lines that they say. So I'm wondering how many fucking lines they recorded, because a lot of it is voiced. I'm surprised a lot of it's voiced. But it determines what they say and how they say it, and that makes their interactions not quite match up. Because there was a scene, it's early at the beginning when like you and your party decide to join the council's guards or whatever it is you join, and the rogue in my party just out of nowhere just goes, shut up. Like, who the fuck were you talking to? Nobody said anything. But it does make for an interesting bit of storytelling. Because you don't actually pick what your characters say. You can pick like what order, like say like, oh, do you guys have any questions? And then you can drill, the councilman farther, like, well, what is the Badlands? You can pick, who says what, kind of a thing. But as far as like characters, how they interact, you have no say in how they do, which I kind of like. And it's not bad. There is like there's one campaign with the game, and then there is a DLC campaign that they have, and then there's also some DLC classes. And I do appreciate that they tell you, hey, when you're creating a character, these skills will not come up in this campaign. You can pick them if you want, but you will do nothing with these skills.
No, I don't remember that, but interesting.
Like I want to say like persuasion was one of them, but deception was not. Like, okay,
That's kind of weird how persuasion would never come up. Like,
okay. So, it's not bad. It's a good holdover to Baldur's Gate 3. Put it that way. And it comes out next year.
I need to go back and play more of this. I only played like a few hours of it initially.
I do like how they do the fast travel stuff though. Because of like, you know, in our game, you know, and in most D&D games, rations don't mean shit. There's something to take up backspace, but they're not tracked. They are tracked here, and you might come across a random encounter also. And I like how that's done. How the fast travel, or the not fast travel, the travel system is between locations.
Yeah, we did track rations for a bit at the beginning.
First, and then we're like, that's too much of it. Just, I'm not even going to mention it. And then that was the end of that.
And then you were like, here, you just buy this jar of magical nutrient balls, then you're good.
And endless water. Yep. Just,
yeah. Cause it's like that's who wants to play that? Like,
some people do.
Who wants to yeah, but there's
some people definitely
fine.
do.
Go play SimCity then. Like, if you want to micromanage everything, like,
I want to play the hardest of hardcore D&D. Okay, that's not going to be this one. The ABR campaign.
Oh, thank you. I'm good.
I like the idea, but I'll never follow through with it.
I want to have fun when I play D&D.
Right.
Speaking of D&D, you've done some crazy stuff the past couple sessions.
Have I?
I've enjoyed.
Okay.
I mean, that one session where we level up and then we end up going on a fight that you didn't expect us to win.
I didn't expect you to win, and then all of a sudden you beat the big bad. I'm like, okay, which was to be fair, was never going to be, even if you, I was expecting you to win, but was not going to be the end of the campaign.
What'd you say? It was a CR 20 something?
26.
Like, yeah, I told my other DM that, and he was like, holy shit. Like,
well, when all of a sudden you go, and I'm going to polymorph a party member into a T-Rex, and they're going to crit 4 times in a row.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go, okay, that's going to go a little faster.
But like, we still went, that was still the longest combat we've ever had.
That was
like, we went through
an
haste.
entire session. Was that one fight?
Like, that's the first time I ever had haste complete naturally. Like, without the combat ending
that
early.
That fight was longer than a minute.
Yeah.
which I'm like, that fight was a minute. I want to see how that played out in a minute. I
Yeah,
want to see
that
that
was
in real
crazy.
time.
Oh man, imagine if like the Forge that's what we use, right? Forge VTT.
Mhm.
Imagine if that like recorded like all the movements and the stuff or whatever, and you could just play that back and see how everything played out. That'd be kind of cool.
That is probably a module.
That would be kind of cool.
Because there is one for like combat tracking. I've definitely seen that. So there probably is a module. That can do that.
But yeah, it was like, oh, we leveled up, hey, and then the next session we leveled up again.
Well, I mean, like you guys did like beating that big bad that I really didn't plan for you guys to beat. Like that's a congrats. Yeah, level up
Yeah.
again. Sure.
I think I said at the end of the session, Stuart, I'm okay with not leveling up next session, please. Like,
And Cracker Jar said he's okay with dying too. So
yeah, like, but yeah, it's been good. Like I've man, D&D is so fun. Like I have a blast with it.
just wait to see what I have planned next.
Oh, I can't wait. What else? Anything else worth talking about?
Yes. I did. Well, one game came out of early access, and went full release. Rogue Legacy 2, which I have talked about, but that is now version 1.0. It's now officially out. And I decided to like, hey, let's see what's changed. And from last time that I played, I couldn't tell a single thing that changed.
Okay.
Like my progress that I had made, it was all still there, so there wasn't a reset. So no way. For some reason it keeps catching my eye, but the swirls are bugging the fuck out. I don't know why.
Oh.
But I did I played it for a little bit, didn't see any change, but I did finally defeat the first boss. So I was proud of myself. And that's really all I gotta say about that. It's a Rogue Legacy is a very, very good game. I enjoy it. That one's a good, like, I'll do a run that'll last, 2 minutes. I'm on a phone call with my grandma. I'll sit here play that while talking to her. That's a good game for it.
Nice.
That's really it. That's all I've played. What about you?
That's a lot more than I've been playing. I've been playing pretty much nothing but the same old stuff. Playing more Minecraft. Got my a finally finished the interior of my AMC
Oh
theater.
right, yes.
Yeah. And I went into some detail, like I made the screen size, the actual was it the aspect ratio of an actual IMAX. Like
Oh, of an IMAX. Okay.
yeah, like because I think it's like 19 by something, whatever. I don't know. So there's a specific IMAX. Yeah, 1.9 to 1. So yeah. But
Which is
speaking
strange.
of
Is it,
yeah.
it's almost square, but you like it looks wider than like because like it's only to 0.9, but it definitely looks a lot wider than a 0.9.
Yeah, right. Like, I guess when a screen when it's that large though, it doesn't look as like, yeah. But
Yeah, and a normal. Let's see, what is normal? Um, is 1.85 by 1. So it's just a 0.05 wider for
but it
IMAX.
makes
But it's a much bigger screen though.
yeah. And you could tell the difference, like when you're watching a Marvel movie on Disney Plus that's IMAX enhanced, you can tell because there's less black. Like the black bars are a lot less. Like you can barely see the black bars, which is nice. I love that they added that feature to Disney Plus. Like, um, but yeah, that and then what else? I built some other random stuff in Minecraft, but nothing really worth talking about. Then I just Slay the Spire. I've been playing that again, just every day. I've been like, because they have a mode called the Daily Climb, where where it like introduces like three random like modifiers where it could be and it switches like your character like it gives you like a random character because there's like three or I think there's four now actually characters, but it picks a character and then it gives you like three random modifiers, and it could be like, you know, anything from like you get double gold for rewards, but you can't upgrade your cards at the rest stops.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you get five special, whatever the colorless card. There's all kinds of terminology for the cards, but it's like you get five of these type of cards, and then they're upgraded. Or you can ignore like paths, because like when you play, there are different like paths to get to the same area, to get to the boss. You're kind of taking, it's kind of like a ladder approach. And there's different like ladder paths, and it's like, oh, you can ignore path. Just those are just examples, stuff like that. So like that, I fire it up like, every night, while, right after dinner, and I just like play whatever the new daily climb is, because it resets like it resets at like I think like somewhere between 6 and 7 my time. So it's like right after like, well, right after I like to have dinner. Sometimes I don't get to eat dinner till a lot later, like tonight, because we're recording. But
Right.
or another night because I forget, or I get caught up in something else. But so I've been jumping back into that. That's another game like kind of like you were saying. It's a good game. You can just fire up and play real quick. You don't have to invest a whole lot of time. I can just do not 2 minutes, but like 10 minutes. I can, if I got like 10 minutes, I can fire it up and make, do a run. And if I don't finish, it just saves where you're at. So you can just fire back up and just go back to where you're at. And it's just like it's just satisfying to like figure out different combos with cards and stuff like that. The different cards with abilities and make combos. And I'm finding out combos and stuff, to this day, like that I didn't even think about before. So it's man. See, one of the people I play Minecraft and stuff with, like they were talking about Slay the Spire, and that's what got me like, oh god, now I'm gonna have to download this again and play it because I love this game so much. It's so good. Um, but besides that, I don't think there's anything else that I've really been playing. I haven't played any Destiny at all. So, um, I'm kind of interested in firing up Apex when the new season starts. I think, is it next week?
I, some reason I thought I had already started. See, this was what, season 14, 13?
Oh,
13 comes up, so yeah, it's gotta be 13.
when is start date for 13? Oh, did it already start? I
Yeah,
guess.
I thought it did. Yeah, it landed on May 10th,
Okay.
so three days ago.
Okay. So, oh, wow, it already started. Okay, then, yeah, maybe I'll fire that up this weekend then, because I do want to. I saw something about the. Maybe it was an older article, because sometimes like it was in my Google feed. Like sometimes they show you old articles, but it was
Yeah,
talking about like here's the battle pass, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's coming up then if they're finally showing you that off. But it might have been like from last week, or for all I know. I don't look at the dates the articles are posted all the time. So
from and this might have been season 12 stuff, but like from what I've heard about what's going on in Apex right now, um, they have made Lifeline useless, like absolutely useless. Like she can't use her drone to revive anymore.
really, okay.
They got rid of the
I thought
shields.
that's the only way she can revive was the drone.
Um,
Hmm. Trying to think back.
she does well. She for a long time she hasn't um been able to heal faster using items, because that was like when Apex first came out. That was a good thing about using her is she could heal faster. Use med packs and shield batteries a lot quicker than everybody else. Nope, they got rid of that. But they instead gave that to Gibby, and then they gave it to the gold chest piece. I want to say it's either the chest piece or the helmet. I forget.
I think it's the chest piece. Yeah.
But yeah,
That you can use consumables faster. Yeah.
there was a bunch of other things that that Lifeline could do that was either given to somebody else or just flat out just taken away from her. And like there is no point in using her at all.
Unless they've unless the website's not updated, it shows she has the combat medic deploy the drone to revive teammates, leaving you free to move and defend.
Okay, but it doesn't have the shield anymore.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But from what I understand, the new guy can do it too. I've not even seen what the new guy can do.
He's the brother of some other character, maybe, right? Uh,
Oh, his name was Newcastle. That's where I grew up. Yep, the revived shield is now given to Newcastle. Yep, that's it. and a mobile shield.
Interesting.
And judged by the name Williams, looks like he would be the brother of Bangalore.
Okay, yeah. Why can't I find? I guess I'll just go to that. Meet Newcastle. There we go. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, it's just Apex. I played Apex a couple weeks ago with just for a few games with someone, and it's just so much fun. I have fun playing that game, and I still had that like feeling of like when we got down to when we got into an intense fight, and just that feeling of like excitement, and that I don't get in a lot of games.
Yeah,
Like,
let's say I don't think I get that feeling like anymore with anything now.
yeah. Because there was a point where I was like 3v1ing, uh, a group, and I somehow won. Like, and I'm just like, I was like, okay, William, breathe now. You can breathe. You can breathe now. Because I was just like, I wasn't breathing at all during that whole, like, the whole fight. And by the time it got done, I was just like, oh my God, my heart is a racing. It's like, yeah, just a game. Why are you getting that excited over? Well, it's just it's fun. I enjoy it. So but yeah, I kind of want to jump in this season and play through it. And nothing in the battle pass excites me, unfortunately. At least this from what I've seen.
Now that
Um,
now that I've seen Fortnite, like every other battle pass sucks.
there's Pathfinder stuff in the battle pass, but
Yeah, but there's never a chance I'm going to be able to get it because
true, I
because
guess.
unlike like Fortnite, I'm level 123. Like I completed the battle pass halfway through the damn season.
You also have been playing it a lot though, so
But nowhere, I don't think I've played it and nowhere near as I had did for Apex during the season.
that's also because I guess like the challenges aren't like there aren't character based challenges because there aren't really characters in Fortnite, just skins. So
Yeah, but also
and
the the challenges in Fortnite will give you like you know half a level.
yeah, I mean there are some challenges
Where
that give you a
Apex is
whole
like
level. Yeah,
we'll give you a pip, and the ones that'll give you a whole level. Yeah, that's going to take you a couple games to do.
yeah. I think the issue I have is there's just too many challenges where you have to play with a certain character or do something with certain characters.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's just too many of those, and that's where it's because like there's some characters I don't want to play at all. Like I just don't like those type of characters. And I used to, when I played Apex consistently, I used to just play those characters just so I could get through those challenges because I wanted to get through the battle pass. So yeah, I agree with you. There definitely need to be changes for sure, but it's not gonna happen because they're doing all right. They're making money. The
Because
community's not complaining. Or at least if they are, they're not complaining enough.
no, they are complaining, but they're also like Shut up and sit the fuck down. The Apex community is also pretty fucking toxic.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna, I hate what you're doing this season, but I'm still gonna pay for the battle pass. I'm still gonna pay for this skin or this, I'm gonna pay for that, or but I'm not happy about it.
Don't play.
Yeah. Just, it's dumb. Yeah. But yeah, that's hopefully I can jump in this, since the season just started and maybe, play more. Because like I said, I do love this game. I do really enjoy playing it. Like actually playing it is fun. But it's just everything around the game that I'm just like, oh, $20 for this skin? Really? Y'all are charging 20 for this when games like Fortnite and other games have like way better skins? Like,
Spend $20 in Fortnite. I'll get 3 skins.
I mean, unless they're like,
Boba Fett or Stormtrooper or Red Stormtrooper.
Is Boba Fett not a premium skin?
No.
Like, wow. Okay.
No, but
That's crazy.
Mandalorian is.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Boba Fett's glider. It's this ship. I don't know what they're calling it now because apparently they've changed his name.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
takes up the whole goddamn screen. Like, okay, Slave One comes in, and it's half the damn screen. Like, oh my god, this thing is huge.
I think I have a glider that's a Viking ship that kind of like it's like a giant wooden Viking ship and it takes up a lot of the screen.
Assassin's Creed. Also takes up half the damn screen.
No, the one I have was from before Assassin's Creed. Like it was like Viking themed, like before like that they got crazy on. Yeah, they may have an Assassin's Creed one too, but like the one I have was just like generic wooden Viking ship, like from like season 2 or something. Yeah, I don't have a lot of like actual like licensed skins. A lot of my skins are from before they went crazy on licensing or with, crossovers and whatnot.
I picked a Master Chief.
Oh, nice.
Because he became available again recently.
Probably because the show.
No, I don't think so. Like a lot of like their game stuff went on, showed up again in the store. Because like there was also Gears of War stuff and
Okay.
Street Fighter.
This says Boba Fett's ship name is Fire Spray. Sounds dumb.
Yep. I knew they changed his name.
Yeah, I knew they did too, yeah, but like that's just bad. Yeah. Yeah, I've got like I think I have like 6,000 V-Bucks or something like that. I fired up and looked. So not that long ago, so I can, I can buy stuff if I ever plan on playing, but
You
I don't
should.
know.
Because no building? Ugh. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, dude.
But yeah, that's not a whole lot I've been playing. I've just been kind of I don't know. I've been in kind of a gaming funk. Like I'm looking for something that'll interest me.
I get that.
I just haven't found anything quite yet. Like what's coming up? Like what's the next big cool game coming out?
Well, let me look at my gaming browser because it's got an in-game calendar.
Because I saw a lot of news on like the Gotham Knights, whatever, but that doesn't come out till October. Like they release new information about that and stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh, when does that come out? Oh, not till October. Huh.
Well, nothing comes out today. That's for damn sure. Let's see. Oh,
I
the
saw
the
what's it?
Mario soccer game comes out on
Starfield got delayed till next year.
Starfield got delayed. Yeah,
Yeah, which like
that sucks.
I'm not surprised. I think when we heard it was coming out this year, we were kind of shocked. Like, really?
You had a whole big ass trailer that showed you nothing about the game, and it had a big old 11/11/22, which is 11 years after Assassin's Creed. Cool. I like that. Delayed. You stupid heads.
Oh, something came out today. The Evil Dead game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, Evil Dead game. Um oh,
Pizza Papa always gets paid. I love it so much.
but
It's so good.
because I'm not I've really only seen Evil Dead 3 in passing. I didn't get the Evil Dead 2 reference that was. Because apparently in Evil Dead 2, Ash's hand goes crazy and starts punching him.
Oh yeah, that I was like, what do you? Which reference? I'm trying to. But yeah, the hand thing.
Didn't
Yeah,
didn't
where
get
he
it.
has to cut it off. Yeah,
So now the it stopped made much more sense.
I see. Weirdly enough, I own. I need to sit down and watch it. I've owned one and two, or I've seen one and two, which two is just a remake of one with a bigger budget. So like that's literally what it is. It's called Evil Dead 2, but it's essentially just a remake of the first one. Um, but Army of Darkness, I don't remember. I don't. I had to have watched it, but I don't remember it. And I think I may own it, so I need to sit down and actually watch that
Yeah,
one. But
it's the
yeah,
only one that I've seen, and I also know that it was spoofed in an episode of Teen Titans because Cyborg goes back in time, um, kind of similar to what Ash did, and becomes parts. He had to rebuild himself using parts from like medieval times and stuff like that.
yeah. Um,
See, coming out soon. 2 Point Campus is coming out next week. Yeah, which I liked 2 Point Hospital, so I'm curious on 2 Point Campus, and that is going to be available on Game Pass. So yippee!
Outriders is getting a new thing in June. That's interesting.
Oh, apparently
I
the
didn't
new
really expect
Saints
more.
Row game comes out in August. Like, that's like the first thing that looking through this calendar that Opera GX has. Um, that's the first thing like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that.
Nothing generally pops out though, at least anytime soon.
No, nothing,
Which
nothing soon.
is kind of my point of like, there's nothing really to be excited. Starfield. I was so excited. Even though that wasn't coming out till
So
the
November.
end of the year. Yeah. Still though, it
Yeah.
was something I was excited about.
Well, I was looking forward to like what that game actually is. Like what is it? Other than just that
Yeah.
it's it's a Bethesda game but in space. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Right? Like, especially with like Bethesda's had some misses recently, or some specifically with like Fallout.
Fallout.
They've had some
Yeah.
rough times with Fallout 76, anyways. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing really that I'm too excited about. I mean,
Hmm.
I haven't been playing Destiny, so I've had a lot of like extra time to that I've realized like, man, I played Destiny a lot.
Oh, I just remembered another game that I played.
Oh
Totally
yeah.
forgot. Tells you what kind of how well this game was, since I forgot all about it. I played Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
Oh, okay.
It is a BR. It's a new BR that came out like 2 weeks ago on Steam. Free to play. It is not terrible. Um, let's just say it has the kind of vibe that okay. Um, that whole pre-Twilight vampire um interview with a vampire, um that whole kind of a vibe, the emo vibe, that's this game in a nice bow.
Okay.
It's 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 the angsty vampire kind of a thing. Like you play as you play as vampires. There's different kind of classes that have to do with like their different abilities they can do. But it does have a unique feature that I was like, that's kind of nice. It's kind of a nice little cherry on top for what makes this kind of unique. It takes place all in one city, and like, well, you're vampires. Vampires suck blood, right? Who do you suck the blood of? People you kill? No, there are random people that are walking around, like random just NPCs that are walking around, and sucking their blood, gives you a point in some type of like, if you drink this person, you'll get a regen on health. If you drink another one of the same type, you'll regen faster. So it's kind of like kind of level up throughout the match, kind of a thing. Um, but if you are seen by another person, you are shown to everybody, like wall hack style, kind of a everybody can see exactly where you are, and there is a blood hunt on you. Like that's kind of a neat twist because you have to make sure you're not seen by a regular ass person and not so that's unique in that aspect. and the guns don't suck. Especially when you're jumping around rooftops and doing super leaps to other buildings, climbing up walls. It's not terrible, but good lord.
There's a fly buzzing around and my dog is trying to grab it.
All of a sudden, something just shot up behind you. Hey, a vampire.
Yep.
But it's not terrible, but it's not good enough to unseat like Apex or Fortnite. It'll be one of those BRs that some people play and they'll eventually just die off.
It's one of those where they're like, okay, we're gonna just try to make something a little different and throw it and see if it sticks to the wall type of thing. There's a lot of BRs like that, I feel like, that have come out in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And just, unfortunately, it seems like there's not a lot that succeed. Like, because the ones that, the popular ones are just so popular. Like
this
Fortnite and Apex and even...
this came out April 27th, so 2 weeks ago, as of this recording. And there are currently 15,000 people playing.
Oh.
So it's not dead yet. And actually, in fact, it's actually gone up since it released.
You remind me of something I saw that I'm trying to look up.
Apparently, there was a beta on it back in September. So according to Steam charts, this game has been out since September, but it officially released 2 weeks ago. But it's not terrible, but it's not good enough to play more than a couple times.
Gotcha. You remind me of when you were looking at how many people were playing or whatever. Have you heard about like Babylon's Fall game? Like,
yes, but I don't remember what I heard.
well, here's an article headline from Rock Paper Shotgun. We spoke to the one person who's still playing Babylon's Fall last week. It has one one concurrent player. Like, and like, oh, I remember seeing a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, it was like in the like, it was low, and then it was low, and I was like, oh, that's bad. And this came out like not that long ago, right?
February.
Yeah. So that's just like, oh my god, that's bad. That it like in just a few months, it's down to one player.
As of 7 minutes ago, it's got 13.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Maybe some of these articles spark some interest. Like, but yeah, the PC gamer. There was only one person in the world playing Babylon's Fall on PC earlier this week. Yeah, so just like even 13 though, that's bad. Like for a game that like this was supposed to be a AAA game, right? Like,
yeah.
it's crazy, like just insane. But yeah, that just reminded me. I was like, oh, that reminds me. What's that game that only has had one person playing? Like, I had to look it up. And like when they first announced that game, I was like, oh, this seems kind of interesting. And then I saw nothing else about it. And then it released, and I'm like, I'm hearing nothing about this game. Huh. Oh well.
Well, it's got mixed reviews on Steam.
Makes sense.
Well, considering nobody's playing it, you'd think it was negative reviews.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like I said, it came out and I heard nothing about it. Like not even bad stuff. Like I just heard nothing. And I was just like, "Oh, okay. Interesting. Guess I won't be picking this game up." I guess we can jump into news.
Sure.
What you got?
I got a couple things. Well, let's keep with Square, because Babylon's Fall was published by Square. Square has sold off a lot of their Western developers, including Platinum Games, which did Babylon's Fall. But that was, I'm pretty sure this was not the reason why Square sold it.
Oh no. And it wasn't to Microsoft.
No, it's to Embracer Group.
Someone bought a game studio that wasn't Microsoft.
Right. Let's see. It was Platinum Games, Crystal Dynamics. Who else? I'm not even looking at a list. This article even say? Oh, Square Enix Montreal, Eidos Montreal.
Yeah, those are some big studios. Like
Right, like this is Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, the Marvel games.
Platinum. Everyone knows Platinum. Yeah. For good or bad, Platinum's a big name though.
I said Platinum, but I think Platinum is actually owned by Microsoft. I mean, they're not on this list, but
I don't think they're owned by Microsoft.
Platinum Games. Who owns Platinum Games?
No, it's not Sega. I think they publish, maybe.
It says they're private. Oh, no, that doesn't mean anything. Who owns Platinum Games? They're independent?
Okay, yeah.
I think. I don't know. Nothing really says.
Yeah, because they have deals with, like, I think Sega publishes them sometimes, and they've done stuff with Microsoft, or they were going to do Scalebound with Microsoft, and then they have the Nintendo deal with
Nintendo stuff.
Bayonetta, to publish Bayonetta on there. So yeah, I guess they're just their own.
Independent, but it was still published. But Babylon's Fall was still published by Square Enix.
Yeah.
And yeah, they sold off a bunch of their Western studios. Now I've not seen like what people are saying this was because or why they were doing this, but I have my theory. I think they're going to get bought by Sony. And this was just an easy way for a Japanese company to buy another Japanese company.
Yeah, I mean that's been a rumor for a while. So
I think it's going to happen.
there's some what was it? I think
And Embracer Group, like, they're not new, but like they used to be called THQ, and they changed their name a couple years ago to Embracer Group, because that sounds gamey. But they own like Gearbox and I had a list up earlier. Whoops. Subsidiaries. Oh, they own Dark Horse Comics, so it's not just video games, but yeah, they own Dark Horse, THQ Nordic, something else that jumps out at me. Nope, nothing else jumps out at me. But they're not. This is all fine, but I'm curious on what's going to happen with Square.
yeah. Speaking of Sony, did you see what FTC is investigating the Bungie acquisition? I don't know why, but
Because
apparently that's a thing.
Because they have to.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
that's part of a tech deal. Like one company buys another one that has to be investigated.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Like yeah, I realize with the Microsoft one, like the FTC is investigating. That's because they're supposed to. So with other deals now, like, well, the FTC is investigating this. Well, that's not news. I mean, it's kind of a given.
Gotcha. Yeah. It'll be interesting, yeah, because like Sony, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what all happens with Sony and who and what they acquire, because Sony definitely doesn't have Microsoft money. So
No,
I think a
no,
lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh, the PlayStation is way popular than the Xbox, so they have. Why aren't they making all these
they kind of
crazy
do though.
acquisitions?
I mean, Sony's bigger than Microsoft though.
Really?
In game wise, like in
Oh, game wise, but I mean like overall, Microsoft and Sony. Like Microsoft has a lot more money than Sony does overall. Like
their games
the
division
parent
though,
company.
Microsoft is third, Sony is second.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sony does bring in more than Microsoft does, but Microsoft is more willing to use outside income.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the parent company has a lot more that they can invest and
Yes.
spend. Yeah. Like when the Red Ring happened, they were able to just be like, okay, we'll pay $1 billion to resolve this. Imagine Sony, like
Sony does, they sell a fuck ton of TVs, monitors, Blu-ray players. I mean, they do have a lot of money.
Blu-ray player, yeah, definitely, because they made but I don't ever see people with Sony TVs personally. Like, I feel like the TVs
Samsung.
Samsung or LGs, yeah, or Vizios, or what's the new company that's recently come out with like when 4K TVs hit. There's a new company that, or at least the one that I never heard of until recently.
Billy Billy.
I can't think of it, but yeah, I don't know any, like, I never hear or see about Sony TVs, and definitely not monitors. Like, cameras, yes. Sony cameras are always
Sony
like
cameras are,
up there.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we're just in the age of acquisitions.
pretty soon the world will be run by corporations.
I mean,
Just
it's
like all
not like,
those sci-fi uh uh, uh media was talking about, because like every single one of them has like corporations run the world.
I mean, I remember us talking about this like 10 years ago. Like,
I mean,
it's gonna be
people
Sony, Microsoft, Apple, like,
people have been talking about it, for longer than we've been alive.
Google, like, yeah. Like, there's gonna be just like a few companies, and they're just got their hands in everything, and it's like, oh, I'll have my Google phone or my Apple phone, or, well,
I
Microsoft
mean,
doesn't make phones anymore,
not
but
anymore.
yeah. But
Sticking with Square, another thing that happened this week, that's kind of shaken up the Final Fantasy 14 community, myself included.
I saw this. I was meaning to ask you about this. Yeah.
Uh, Square has come out and said multiple times that using third-party plugins, add-ons, whatever, breaks their terms of service. They don't want you to do it, but they will not install spyware to prevent you from using third-party tools, as long as you don't use those third-party tools to harass others.
Or to like cheat or whatever. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure.
and
Yeah.
that's where this is coming in, because there has been such an uptick in Final Fantasy 14 lately. There's been an uptick in, there's been a lot of people coming from WoW, a game that was pretty much, you had to use mods and add-ons in WoW to viably play that game, to one that doesn't. It coming from someone who also did it, that it's a bit of a break. Like, you can't really, like, well, I'm used to customizing, my game to how I want to play it. And it's not an easy thing to do. But there have been a lot of mods, especially lately. Where there's kind of a bit of a race to get to be the first to beat the latest raids and stuff. There have been a lot of add-ons that basically allow you to cheat.
Oh yeah. See, that's no good. Yeah.
And there's been streamers who are just blatantly showing these add-ons and plugins and they've been getting banned.
As they should. Yeah.
But they're also using add-ons and plugins like ACT. ACT is a big one. It is Advanced Combat Tracker. Basically, it allows you to show DPS of the entire group on your screen. And it's not a way to cheat, but it can be used to harass. And the ACT has been kind of a gray one, because especially in WoW, with stuff like recount or details, stuff that could read your chat log and show in a nice little graph, where everybody falls and how much DPS this person's doing, who's doing the most, are they even doing anything, and WoW, and because it was such a toxic place, it was used to harass. Like, I don't want to have anybody in my group that can't pull 12k DPS. If you can't pull 12k DPS, get the fuck out. That was WoW.
Oh, I know those type of people. Those people exist in the Destiny community.
I'm sure.
You go on like LFG sites and trying to find people to like do something. They're like, must have this. We'll check ELO, whatever. We'll do this. Must have
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's always, people have always been there. Back to the days of must have Gallahorn.
Must have completed raid. The raid came out today. Nope, you must have completed it. Fuck you. That was the one that always, because like that was definitely a thing in WoW. Like that's dumb.
Yep.
But yeah, the streamers who were showing the cheating mods were getting, which, if you watch the clip, it's actually kind of funny because they get thrown into jail. Like, they're literally taken out of the raid, thrown into a room with bars on as a door.
Oh my god!
You were literally thrown in jail, and then a GM shows up, and then you're banned.
That is great.
It's really funny, but this has really thrown the community into a spiral, because there are some add-ons and plugins that aren't cheating, that are I have used plugins for Final Fantasy. I've used ACT just to go, am I doing okay? Like, oh, okay, I'm maybe not top DPS, but I'm second. Good.
I would love something like that for Destiny, because in Destiny, when you complete like a raid encounter or complete a raid boss, you don't get to see your damage if you actually complete it. You only see the damage if you die and wipe, and the wipe screen shows the damage of. So yeah, like,
that's dumb.
So you're able to see who hasn't like done damage, and you're able to get mad at them or whatever like that. So like, there's a joke like, oh, let's wipe to see damage, like. But yeah, I would love something like that to be able to see, like, because it's like, oh, I feel like I'm putting out a lot of damage. I'd love to actually, I've tried this new loadout. I'd love to see how much damage I actually am doing compared to what I previously have. I mean, but there's nothing like that for, Destiny.
Well, there's nothing official for Final Fantasy either. But, I mean, you can look at the combat log and just watch it just scroll when you're in a raid and go, okay, I guess, you cannot read the combat log while you're in a fight.
So I'm guessing this mod like just adds all the stuff up.
It just reads it in a nice concise bar. It's great. But it can be used to harass, like we talked about before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, like, Square Enix was like, don't tell. We won't do anything. Don't talk about it. Don't tell. It'll just be a thing. But a lot of streamers show ACT, which, by the way, you don't fucking have to show ACT. If you do on OBS, if you do game capture, it doesn't show ACT. Only if you display capture does it show ACT.
Well, there's a lot of streamers who just do display just so they don't have to, like, yeah.
It's yeah, but this is throwing the community like, oh, ACT is getting banned. Well, all mods should be banned. Well, I used an add-on that will change the character title or the character's name if I'm in the same guild with them. That's something that should already be in the game. Because, like, friends, they show up as orange, compared to everybody else, which is kind of a light blue, almost white. I had an add-on that will change everybody who's in my guild to green. So they pop out. Like, oh, another guild member's here.
Okay, yeah.
That should be in the game.
Yeah.
That's something that should be in the game. Because, like, that's just, and that's not cheating. That's info you could already have, but it just helps that info pop. There was a plugin that will look at your minions, your mounts, all like the collectible stuff in the game, and put a little check mark next to it if you already have it. So if you're like on the auction house or whatever, you know whether you have it or not. As of the last update, that is now officially in the game. So, and they've even said, we use the UI and HUD add-ons. That we look at the most popular ones and see whether or not we could implement this into the game for everybody. That was one of them. I used another plugin that made people when they typed in the chat have a little speech bubble pop over their heads. It was actually more immersive because I wasn't looking down at the chat log. I could just keep my eyes on the screen. It was more immersive, in NPCs do it. Why not have players do it too? There was another one I used that showed me the title of the current track that was playing, and in a game where you can collect the tracks to play them, in your own in room or whatever, that's useful. Like, oh, I like this track, but I have no idea what it's called. So, but like stuff like that, I view as perfectly fine because it's not something that you couldn't have already. It's info that is already available to you, but it just isn't given in a good enough way. But stuff like, and I have used it, like CACBot, and I've used it a couple times, but have stopped because I felt wrong. It basically, oh, this attack is about to happen. Move left to get out of the way. Move to the right.
Oh wow.
Which
okay.
That is one of the add-ons in WoW. That is, you have to have it. If you're going to do a dungeon, you have to have it. You have to have that add-on that does that. Otherwise, you suck. Legitimately, you suck if you don't have that add-on. But I was used to stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, and there's one for Final Fantasy 14. Okay, but I've since stopped using that one. That one, I'm like, I'm not. I don't hate that one is used, but I don't use it because it's not necessarily needed.
I never understood the way. I mean, I don't know. I never understood like cheating in video games. Like what like old school cheats. You know, like playing a game on PlayStation and putting in a cheat code for, like dumb stuff like big head mode and Tony Hawk stuff like that. I did for sure, but like I don't know. It's the point of like what's the point? What's the point in playing the game if things are just going to be handed to you? Like I remember when I was playing Diablo 3, I was given like modded weapons or whatever by my friend Pantsless Steve, and like they just broke the game for me, like because I was killing everything instantly, and I'm just like, well, this ruined the game for me
Yeah,
just because. What's the point? There's no challenge. It's just I'm killing everything instantly, and there's like, yeah, there's just nothing, no point. It's just becomes like a clicker game, And I mean, I know some people like clicker games, but you know, nothing against those. But like, for me, a game, I like to have some kind of challenge. And it's just like, so I never understood. I mean, I guess some people feel good that they
well,
can like pretend that they're better at something than they really are. Maybe that's why people do. I don't know.
for
I've never
for
understood.
something like CACBot and DBM and WoW, I get it. I get kind of the argument because it's like having a raid leader do callouts that is 100% accurate all the time. Because I was in a raid yesterday, with a bunch of people, and there was a person calling out, okay, they're gonna do this, you know, be sure to get behind the boss. They're gonna shoot out a beam. You know, she was great. She was great at doing call outs. But there was one time she like, oh, I forgot that mechanic happened. Whoops. You know,
I mean, that's
she
the way it
she
should be.
she wasn't
Like,
100% accurate, but this but Catbot is 100% accurate all the time. But then it's up to you to do the right thing. There are some add-ons that go, okay, you're going to want to stand here at this exact point, and then yeah, there are some that are way cheat, like there are some that are just split up cheats.
yeah,
But like, and this whole thing is they're not banning people who don't stream. They're only banning streamers who are showing these. Because, like I said, they are not going to install spyware to see if these they're not going to spy on your computer. So like if you don't stream, this doesn't affect you at all.
yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. I mean,
And
they don't want to do that. Plus, they don't want to actually spend all the money to invest you know,
yeah,
into it all. So it's like unless you force us to
well,
ban you
Yoshi
by showing it on a live
Yoshi
stream.
Yoshi P, the head of Final Fantasy 14, he's not he's like, no, I not even thinking of money. Just I don't want that type of I don't want to be in a community where I have to spy on you. It's not the kind of community I want. That's not the community I'm not gonna have. But there are plugins that I will continue to use. Like there's one called G Shade. It basically changes the shaders in the game, and it makes the game Like I didn't realize this until I started using G Shade, but there's kind of a white kind of film on everything, and using G Shade, you can just remove that and just make the game look pretty and make colors pop, and the game looks gorgeous. And then with G Shade, it looks even more gorgeous. And then I have another one that changes kind of the look of my icons, just because I don't care for how the default ones look. And I will stream with those because I know those aren't cheating, and they're not gonna crack down on G Shade. That one's too damn popular.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this has thrown the Final Fantasy 14 community into a bit of a spiral lately, and even my own guild are, they're torn. Like, third party stuff should not exist in Final Fantasy 14. Well, you know what Yoshi P also said a third party tool is? Discord. And he's right. It absolutely is. Because there is no voice chat in Final Fantasy 14. So, yeah, but you can complete raids without using Discord. You're right, you can. There's no argument there. Yeah, you can. But, it's a lot better to sit in a group and make fart jokes while you're, killing a boss than just sitting there in silence, not talking to anybody. So, but yeah.
It is frustrating though sometimes, like having to, like, when there is something like a mod or something that's third party that in like something that actually helps the game out so much, and it's just like, why won't the developers put this in?
And
like for
Square,
example, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and Square has said that the most popular ones, they will, because they want PlayStation players to also be able to use this stuff, because PlayStation players can't use add-ons and mods.
Yeah. Destiny example, there's a tool called Destiny Item Manager that it allows you to manage your the items, move stuff between characters, view stuff you have, move stuff out of your vault, all this and that, so you don't have to like load one character into the vault, or go load into the tower with one character, deposit something in the vault, switch character. You don't have to do all that. Like, there's a Bungie app that can do some stuff like that, but it's not as good. But one thing that the Destiny Item Manager has is they have like loadouts where you can save loadouts to names, and then you can just click a button, and all the armor and weapons that assigned loadout will equip to your character. So I can have a loadout for a raid, or I can have a loadout for Crucible, or I can have a loadout for Gambit, and just click a button and bam, it. And there's also like where you're able to go deep into, I think this is more of kind of like maybe a gray area, I don't know, but then again, it's still like you say, the information is there, it's just it helps you find it, where you're able to like kind of min max your loadout and be like, okay, I want, there's the tools to search through all your gear and be like, okay, I want to find the gear to, what's the highest my intellect can be while my discipline is also this high, while my recovery is also this high, and it just goes through all the the different combinations of gear you have instead of you having to just sit there and look through stuff and do the math yourself. You know, those are just a few examples of like some tools that they're not. I guess they're not mods really. They're just like because they're just accessing the API that Bungie has out. But like, yeah. So I get it. Yeah, it just like it just feels like like Bungie. Where's loadouts? Where's saved loadouts? Come on now, like that just seems like something after 7-8 years. That just seems like something we should have officially by now. The other stuff that I was talking about, I can understand. Like the getting into all the specific item stats and trying to maximize everything. I can understand them not wanting you to do that necessarily. But yeah, it just, yeah. But I guess that's always how it's going to be. There's always going to be people out there who are going to be like, I love this game. This game is great. I'm going to try to make this to enhance the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that as long as it's not like straight up cheating.
Yeah, and as Asmongold did an interview recently with a plugin developer, and that's kind of exactly what he said. He said, I don't do plugins that are cheaty. I just do quality of life stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Cuz I like Destiny, I don't play on well, I guess the new consoles are a lot faster, but like going back to like when I did play on Xbox, like Xbox 1, having to like travel, to the tower, deposit something, switch characters, travel back, like that's like that could be like 5 minutes. Like just to switch something over from one character to the other. Like, and you can do that in like 5 seconds with like Destiny Item Manager, or they have a couple other one. Like there's one called Ishtar, and I'm sure there's probably a few others, but like Destiny Item Manager is the big one. Um, so and I've heard interviews of the person who makes it, and they're like legit, like they 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 they're not trying to cheat. They're just wanting to help people. They just want quality of life.
Yeah,
They want to improve stuff like that. And so, yeah. Hopefully this doesn't like cause too much issues in the Final Fantasy 14 community, because I know you're that's like your favorite game. You love it. And
it's definitely one of them right now. Yeah, and I managed to talk my sister into joining. Now I just need you now. And
yeah.
just to kind of show, like I said, the looking this is G shade. On the left is before, on the right is after.
Oh wow. Like
That's not one that's going to get banned. It won't get it's one, it's too damn popular, and it just uses your graphics card, your graphics card shaders that could already do this stuff, and just turns them on. So that's all.
okay.
The last one I got, um is something I don't know why it exists. Why somebody would think, I should create this. A group of people, engineers, have created a new kind of haptic feedback for VR. But this haptic feedback is not for your hands. Not any type of a vest that you put on. No. This is haptic feedback for your mouth. Now, Will, before your dirty mind goes anywhere else, what this
You
does...
want to know where my mind first went? Honest to God. People with disabilities. Disabled gamers. That's the first thing honest to God, that's the first thing where then the second thing is what you thought. Like,
and what everybody else thought. When you
Yeah.
said, when somebody says haptic feedback for VR. No, what this does is it blasts ultrasound, so air, basically, at your mouth.
Air.
To create the sense of what's being shown.
Okay.
And what did they have to, like, well, how could this be used? You ask. Oh, they had a video showing their ideas. Like, oh, you're playing a scary game, and there's spider webs all over the place. You walk into a spider web, and you feel the spider web on your mouth. No!
That's the stuff of nightmares.
No, you know what I would pay not to have? Spider web on my mouth.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or you're walking under a drain that slime is flowing down. You walk through it and you feel the slime run down your face. Again, no. That's just... You are running through a field and you feel the wind on your face. Okay, sure. You step in a mud puddle and you feel the mud splash on your face. What are you doing? Like, those were the thoughts I was having while this video was playing as I was watching it.
Well, I haven't watched the video. I'm reading, but like, smoking a cigarette?
Yes.
What?
That was another one. It was like,
what?
Yeah, you can feel the cigarette being pushed up to your mouth. Like, okay, yeah, let's severely outdate that.
Brushing your teeth.
Yeah, that was one.
I want to virtually brush my teeth.
Yep, that one was shown. Unfortunately,
instead of actually brushing my teeth, which I do every day. I'm like, what?
The video is actually not in the article. So I'll give it to you on Discord.
Is that not the video on? Oh no, I guess that's something else actually. Yeah.
But I'll also play it on the stream too. Whoops. Maybe.
That person does not look happy with like the spider coming out her mouth. Oh boy.
No, I wouldn't be happy either.
And I gotta say, that's not an attractive camera angle ever.
No, it's not. It's let's kind of scrub to where the... Like, it's a... I like the... no, I don't like the idea. Let's not do this.
But like I said, like my first thought was this could be used somehow for the disabled gamers, because like I've come across on Twitch certain disabled gamers. There's one that
Rocky, no hands. he's a famous one that uses.
Oh, I don't know that one, but the one I know, he's played with like Gary Whitta, Felicia Day, a few others. Like I think he's runs or he's works for Disabled Gamer or something like that. Um, but like when he's talked about like the stuff he uses in order to be able to play video games, and it's like they do some MacGyver shit, like some crazy. They take things you never would think about, and they put things together in order to be able to actually like have better experience, actually have experiences with gaming, and it's like it's pretty impressive. And anything like I could just see somehow this might help. I don't know. I mean, I don't know
I mean,
how this could help, but like they probably would know. Like I'm not smart enough to know how this could help, but
all this really does. It's like I said, it's blasting air at your face. That is all this is doing. There's no other. Um, yeah, there was the puddle of mud. Like, what, again, why would you want to feel that?
I don't know. Yeah. It's just, people are just making stuff because, they can,
Well, like let's get like good like finger haptic feedback. I think that's where we should be first. I have
Oh, I agree. Like,
I have seen stuff on the finger haptic feedback stuff, but it's like it's so janky. Like Linus did a video where somebody had made like gloves and stuff with like motors and stuff that pulls on your fingers for haptic feedback, and it looked like it caught on fire during the video.
yeah, there's some things I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't want a vest that simulates me being shot. I'm good. I don't need that.
Okay, if you're playing VR, you'd be more immersed. I get it, but like you know,
No, I'm
but
still good.
like the
Like,
haptic feedback vest existed before VR was
oh yeah, I
on its
remember.
current kick.
I remember. Well, yeah. At least I remember seeing a haptic feedback vest like at PAX. Like, God, I don't know how long ago. Like 8 years ago, maybe at least. No, I can't remember the first PAX I went to. Was When was the first PAX East? Oh, that doesn't solve anything. But yeah, I remember like seeing stuff like that and just being like, okay. I don't think this stuff's gonna really like. It's more for the like all this stuff is just for the real the big enthusiasts, the people who
Yes,
will spend $30,000 to be able to have the full experience to play Forza.
right. You know, have the omni directional treadmills with haptic VR vests with gloves, and I get it. I totally get it. You know, we want we're trying so hard to make Ready Player One a real thing.
Spend all so much money so I can just stay inside, not do anything.
Yes, yes. While wearing a screen on my face that makes me think I'm outside. Without the cancer.
I mean, to be fair, you're probably getting cancer. It's just a different way. Like, This technology's so new. Who knows? Like,
Yeah, in about 50 years, that'll come out that our screens right here give us cancer.
I mean, remember, oh, don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind.
Oh no, they were right.
Now,
Oh no, they were right.
yeah, as we both wear glasses.
Yes, as I'm practically blind without them. Yes, I think they were right.
That's just genetic. That's just terrible genetics. Both my parents wore glasses, so that was just that was just my fate. Like, but yeah, and now like everyone's lives are just revolved around screens. We literally have screens in front of our like inches in front of our face now.
Yeah.
So what the difference is. The quality's so high we don't have to squint and hurt our eyes as much.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just all these gimmicky things though. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, people are yeah, cool. Hopefully hopefully the actual tech behind this stuff can be used for more important things, you know.
Like I said, this is just feedback. It's not. There's no inputs on this.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the still the stuff people can do crazy things with things you never would have thought.
Right.
Like all the people who did it, like all the uses for the Connect. People are
Yeah.
using Connect now, like in the medical research and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like just crazy. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for you.
That is all the news I brought. What did you bring?
I got one thing. It kind of interesting. You know, we talk about a lot of crossovers and character licensing and Fortnite this and no Call of Duties getting, the was it King Kong versus Godzilla and
Yeah,
this all
that
craziness.
they don't even fight, which a lot of people are pissed.
Oh, do they not?
They don't fight.
What is that, by the way? Did you figure out what that whole thing was actually about?
I don't know. I don't know. But Godzilla
Okay.
and King Kong showed up on the island, did damage, didn't fight each other, and that was it. That was it.
Well, that's disappointing.
At least from what I haven't tried it because it's not an event that only happened once. It's something that happens every game for like a limited time.
Okay. Well, something that I never thought would ever cross my lips.
Nope, this never, even a million years, would not have guessed this one.
Smite, which they're known to do some interesting stuff. Like they've
Sure.
had Ninja Turtles. Have they had Transformers or no? Am I just?
I don't think so.
I could be making that up, but I know they had Ninja Turtles. They've had other interesting stuff. I don't know if this is out now or not, but they have they're bringing Slipknot.
Because when I think of gaming, I think Slipknot. Yes, they did do Transformers.
Okay, yeah.
They've done Rambo, Transformers, Stranger Things, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avatar, The Last Airbender, of course, and Ruby.
Oh yeah, they did do Ruby. Yeah, and now Slipknot joins that list.
Yeah, I say that list, and I still think one of these things is not like the other.
Well, in a way, Slipknot are characters in themselves. Like that's
I mean, well,
half their
yeah,
thing is being dressed like crazy. Like,
but
yeah.
you know what? I never went. Like, what's the game that Slipknot plays on the tour bus? Smite. Mm,
Is that
no,
real, or are
no.
you making fun? Are you making
I'm
that up?
I'm making that up.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, this also this also brings a good point. Like, this talks about like Ariana Grande in Fortnite. Like, why? But yeah, apparently, and I didn't realize like I'm pretty knowledgeable about at least the music of Slipknot. Like, I used to listen to Slipknot a lot in high school. Like, I was big into that scene. Um, I didn't realize how many members of the band there are in Slipknot. Oh my god,
There's quite a few.
there's a lot. Yeah. Is it typical match? Can was it Poseidon? I don't even know how you say those other two gods, but
See where I'm looking.
Chak, Chake, and Rajan will get skin member like are the ones. So I don't know. See, there's one, two, 5, 6.
One, two, three, four, five, six,
There's
seven,
like
eight,
9
nine.
members.
At least in this image, there are nine.
Yeah, there's 3 gods and there's 3 assigned to each god for the skin. Which it's like, how does that work? Like, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
you just
tempted to fire up Smite just to see how this works. Like, I'm just curious. Like, this just seems weird. And like I said, I've I like Slipknot. I'm a fan of at least their, I don't know about their most recent stuff, but like, their at least their earlier stuff I've been a fan of, and I was in that right age group and phase in my life when Slipknot was really big. And that makes me wonder, like, is Slipknot still big? Like,
yeah.
this is the first
That
time
was
I've
another
heard of
thing.
Slipknot in a long time.
That's There's no way that's the pronunciation of it.
What?
The Czech god, the Mayan god of lightning and rain. I
It's
just
Czech?
check the Czech. However you say that god's name. Look on Wikipedia. I'm pretty sure that's not the pronunciation of it. Because if it is, that doesn't help.
No, not at all. That's, yeah. That's someone's cat jumped up on their keyboard. Like,
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, I'm saying that's you. It's pronounced Czech.
okay, yeah. So,
And
yeah,
then
that's
Rajin. That's my guess on the other one.
yeah, that's just this is just this I'm just wow. Okay. Interesting.
Which is a Japanese god.
Because also, like I was saying, like, is Slipknot like big still? Like, I really can't remember. Like, this is the first time I've heard about Slipknot in a while. Like,
Apparently they're doing their
okay,
seventh album, or they did
okay.
their seventh album last year, which they only had 7 albums. There's no way.
That's I'm kind of shocked about
There's
that.
no
Yeah,
way.
because like I said, I remember listening to them back in like high school. In high school, they had a couple albums out, and that was God, that was too long ago. Um, yeah, I searched Slipknot, and the first thing that pops up is that apparently one of the members is having a baby with Kelly Osbourne. Like, okay, sure.
Sure.
And you scroll down, and then it's like, oh, they're now playable characters in Smite.
Slipknot may make a blazing return in first show of 2022.
Yeah, because I remember this lead singer Corey Taylor. He like had his own side project. Um, where it wasn't like Slipknot type music necessarily. Um, what was it called?
Country.
No, it wasn't
That'd be
country. It
hilarious.
was
That'd be hilarious.
yeah. Uh, Stone Sour. That was who. Yeah, that was his side like band, and they were like a lot. They were still rock, but they were softer than Slipknot, obviously, because Slipknot's pretty hardcore stuff. If if you're listening to this and you're unaware of Slipknot, Slipknot is very hardcore metal. Um, very violent and aggressive type music.
Yeah. See, according to Wikipedia, they're heavy metal, new metal, alternative metal, and groove metal.
I've always hated the term new metal. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell does that mean? Like, and it's in you, not like it's not even like, oh, it's new metal, like in like it's brand new. It's in like I don't know, just I've always hated
Derivative
that term.
forms of new metal is emo rap and trap metal.
God, I hate trap. Ugh. Yeah. Anyways, getting sidetracked, but that's what we do best. This is interesting though. Like I've always liked out of these type of game like the is it MOBA? The Smite technically a MOBA,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. No, it's 100% a MOBA.
Okay, yeah. I've always liked Smite. Smite was the one that I enjoyed. And every time I had someone who wanted to play Smite, I was like, sure, I'll play it. Like I guess it was the easiest for me. It was the easiest MOBA for me to like understand and play. Like so I love seeing all these crazy crossovers they've done like the Transformers and Ninja Turtles and now Slipknot. Like
And Rambo. Don't forget Rambo, which was last month. But by the way,
like they have to be fans of the game, right? Like
I
why else?
honestly that's the only reason why I think this happens.
Yeah. If not, why? How does this
Because they
how
couldn't
does
get Fortnite.
but I mean how does like uh uh the who makes Smite again? I'm drawing a blank. Um
But High res.
Yeah, how does why does high res do this if not for Slipknot reaching out maybe and because they're fans of the game?
Right,
Like,
because you know high res doesn't have fucking money. Because their games fail all the fucking time. Like, I don't know. I'm better on high res.
oh, I know. I just mean like if versus them like going with another property like Slipknot. It's got to be someone from Slipknot reached out. Like
Sure.
they're a
Like,
fan of the game, reached out, and that's how this got like.
Call of Duty got, Snoop Dogg. Call of Duty kind of makes sense for Slipknot. Smite does not.
No, not at all. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely had to be someone in Smite, if not more than one person in Slipknot, like are fans of Smite. So, which good on them, I guess. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Now I'm just imagining that, there's a huge swath of like Smite fans who are also Slipknot fans. And so I'm imagining at their next concert, just Smite, 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 Smite.
I mean, Stuart, it could be a lot worse though. It could be ICP. It could be a lot worse.
Honestly, I don't play Smite anymore. I barely did at the time. So if it was ICP, I wouldn't care.
I don't think anybody wants to touch that culture. Like nobody wants to
I don't think
even.
ICP wants to touch that culture.
Oh no, they love it. They're like worshipped as gods to the juggalos.
I know, but it's like yeah, but you stay over there though. We'll stay over here up on stage. You stay there.
Yeah, it's something. But yeah, that was the only thing like that I found for news that was like really like we have to talk about this. This is just out there.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
like oh my god. And like I said, I'm curious. Like I'm curious about this. Like because like Microsoft like Game Pass, they always have like, oh, here with Game Pass perks, you can get this or you can get this with Smite. And I wonder if this is gonna show up. Like,
It might. It totally might.
It's hilarious. But I guess unless you have anything else, we can finally wrap this up.
I got nothing else.
This has been episode 451 of the Geeks for the Win podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Stuart is at Casual Terror, and I am at WillPlayGames_. And we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals are hard making this podcast.